So debt management, I think it's quite an important aspect. I think, interest rates can be fairly high. You're servicing a loan, for example. I'm going to put it in the context of the current time. I know individuals have been able to apply to their bank for some debt relief. Okay, I would probably take advantage of it actually. One, because it may ease your cash flows that are going out from your income. Of course, I think one of the things about debt is to understand what the purpose of why you've got it. And a lot of people have debt that may be been used for investment, or it may be used for consumption, for example. But ultimately, it's going to have to be paid back, and sometimes it's quite costly. I think in terms of debt management, it's probably best not to ignore it, okay? Because you do need to have a plan to commit on how you're going to pay it down over time. At the current time, if somebody's probably offering a bit of relief, it might be suitable to take it if your circumstances need it. But of course, at some point, you're going to have to pay it down. Debt is useful in certain times. If you want to acquire a house or property, for example, I think that's a very useful way to try and get onto the property ladder, for example, or build something for your family and yourselves. But a lot of debt that we've seen around the world, I think, has primarily been driven by consumption. And I think you may see a change going forward where people are a little bit more circumstanced of how much debt they're going to take for the live the day attitude. If you're looking to pay down debt and you have multiple loans, okay, the classic strategy for paying down debt is to, one, obviously pay the minimum you need to on all the debt. So say you have a student loan, a credit card loan, an overdraft facility, and you need to pay down. You're probably going to want to focus on, one, first pay the minimums so that nobody comes after you and wants to put a case for you in the credit bureau. Secondly, is to pay down probably the highest interest rate so that you can eat into that quite quickly. Okay, that is one strategy, because then you'll pay that down, and that's a very efficient money management strategy. The second strategy, though, is more a behavioral strategy. You have 4 types of loans, for example. You realize that the overdraft loan is the smallest one, but it's probably got the lowest interest rate, let's say. However, you decide to pay that down because there's some sort of satisfaction of saying there was 4 loans, and 3 months' time there's only 3 loans. So that is the behavior. It makes you feel like you're going well along the journey, though financially it might not make sense in terms of somebody who's looking at the numbers. But in terms of saying it was 4 loans, now it's 3, you're tending to pay the smallest one first. So you clear that off because that gives a lot of satisfaction. And a lot of people like that, so they can actually manage debt. They feel that they can pursue the journey rather than maybe paying the one with the highest interest rate, but it then took you 4 years and you still had 4 loans the whole time and you didn't quite get that satisfaction like we're making some journey. Those are 2 different strategies. One is called debt avalanche and one is called a debt snowball strategy.